My son loves it. I'm a little bit in the middle. What's going on, people? My name is Alex Thorn, and I'm a rock and roller who in his downtime likes to watch movies while wearing a bandana. And this time, for a second time, mind you, I checked out Five Nights at Freddy's. Now, I originally went to go see this movie in the theater and took my son, chaperoned my kid on his first date. Yeah, I know, preteen with a first date. Some of us never had that opportunity, but I'm here. I'm a dad. I'm here to keep a keen eagle eye, you know what I mean, on what he's doing. But at the same time, it was his favorite series, the girls' favorite series, and we saw it. And honestly, the only reason I didn't review it that night when I got home from the theater was because I forgot.
Disappointed!
I know. So if you go to pay for a movie and it makes a big impression on the people you go with, in this case, two 12-year-olds, and it doesn't do so much for you, what does that say about the movie? That says, I've got to check it out again. So that's what I did. I said, brother, I gotta watch the movie again so I can review it because I never reviewed it in the first place. He was hyped. He loved it. And this time, I'm actually glad that we watched it on Peacock, at home, on my 65-inch OLED, in Dolby Vision. So here's the deal. That actually made a huge difference to me because Dolby Vision really made certain scenes pop. And when the TV understood what it was looking at, it made the animatronics pop. Five Nights at Freddy's. A popular video game for years, well over 20 years, right at that cusp of 20-year mark. That's my understanding. It's very much Chuck E. Cheese meets Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street meets a couple other things in there. That's what I got from it. A little bit of Chucky.
Don't fuck with the Chuck! Oh my god.
I know that if you're a fan watching this review, you're going to probably be quite agitated that I don't know the characters' names other than Freddy and that I don't know the lore. But when I tell you, I allowed my son to have me sit there and watch several videos of Five Nights at Freddy's FNAF lore. It is quite convoluted. And you have to be quite interested in it and grabbed by the concept in order to understand what's going on. A troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. While spending his first night on the job, he realizes the late shift at Freddy's won't be easy to make it through. So at the heart of everything, there's a guy, I was going to call him a gentleman, he's far from a gentleman, named William Nafton. His thing was abducting children and hiding their bodies inside of those animatronics. Like, who's gonna go look inside the animatronics of Freddy? Once they were in there for so long, their spirits melted and coerced with the character that their body was in, and now they seek vengeance. But they follow him because they're lost souls, so he's their leader. So for one, I love the idea. But again, other than seeing a couple of just photos and a little bit of a game that I thought, quite frankly to myself, I thought it looked pretty crappy, I didn't know that it was this dark. Now, as an adult, I think this is awesome. For kids or for preteens or whatever it's supposed to be for, this shit is dark. Like, this is really dark stuff, in my opinion. I think what kind of takes me out of the movie are a couple things. The lack of blood. There are a lot of opportunities to do not extreme gore. We're not talking about Terrifier gore or Dead Alive gore. We're talking about some 80s classic blood scenes where something can happen and then there's a big splatter of blood on the surface. I would have appreciated that. there's like little to no blood at all. Now I get that it's a PG-13 movie. I get who it's aimed at or its original intended audiences. But like, again, we're dealing with a man who abducted children, killed them, put them in the bodies of animatronic, plush dolls, characters such as Mickey Mouse at Disney World or something like that, if that's more, recognizable to you than Chuck E. Cheese is. And their spirits were in there, that they melted. They're in between worlds. They became these characters and they're angry. Like, there's nothing about that tells me, oh yeah, we gotta limit the blood because kids may come to see this. Like, we're way past that. The other thing that kind of throws me off is the main character that we have to watch. Now, I get where this was going. I do. I understand that the dude is troubled. And the dude that I'm talking about is somebody named Mike Smith, played by Josh Hutcherson. He gives me a John Connor in Terminator 3 vibe, where they played him off to be a loser. And I get that he's supposed to be somebody who's had, trouble, but his heart is in the right place for his sister, which is the other person that I have an issue watching in this movie. They make it very tough to watch because they have something where I don't want to come across wrong here, but the little girl, there's something off about her, and you are supposed to care, which you kind of care. At least I kind of cared because of the situation of, the parents, to my knowledge, to my memory, passing away, and the brother getting abducted, which is what brings this particular brother, Mike Schmidt, and his little sister into this Five Nights at Freddy's story. Like, I have to care about you, and I care about the situation, but I don't care about the people in it because they're not grabbing me. As actors, their scenes don't come across. They're not scene stealers. They're quite agitating to watch. Like, can you please show some fucking sign of life? But who does come across the screen is Elizabeth Leo, who plays Vanessa Monroe. This chick steals every scene she's in. And it's not just because she's hot, because she is, but she, honestly, there's something special. There's a magic in her eyes. She looks like she believes what she's saying, and she looks like she's there to, actually play the role and not just, okay, so these are my lines. All right, I'll try. That's the feeling I get from the brother, the main character, Mike. And then the feeling from the little girl, I don't even want to get into that because I don't know if there's something actually wrong with her or that's just the character, but something's off and it makes it a tough watch. And so I think it's time we now get to a bandana rating for Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm going to give this movie 3 bandanas out of 5. Because again, like I said, it is not a terrible movie. It is not a tremendously great movie. But it's obviously something that can be watched over and over again. It's very entertaining. Even though it's dark, the colors of the animatronic characters and the different things they do, it pops if you have the right TV. If you're watching it in Dolby Vision like I did on the LG C1 OLED, C2, C3, or maybe a Samsung OLED, possibly a mini LED TV, quality mini LED TV, it will pop with Dolby Vision or Dolby Vision IQ. I don't know what the Blu-ray looks like. So if you're a physical media guy or gal, I don't know what the physical media looks like. I don't know if it's cleaner than this. I'm sure it is. I told my son, you know what, I think this is passable enough that I want to pick it up on 4K Blu-ray. And he was totally geeked and excited for that. So with that being said, 3 bandanas out of 5. Guys, do you know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's? Can you fill me in down below a little bit more? We'll have a conversation about it. I try to talk to everybody in my comments as much as I can. While you're doing that, let me know what you thought about the movie. And also, by the way, I want to send a shout out to Corey Kenshin, who I know because I see him on my son's TV every single weekend when he watches them. He did a great role in this movie. You did awesome. It's cool to see a YouTuber in a big production like that. So again, guys, leave me a comment down below, and you know what you got to do. You got to like, comment, and please subscribe to my channel. We just hit 1,000, and it's all because of people like you. I'm Alex Thorn, and I got to go rock out. so I can go watch some movies.